Fox News got pretty religious in the wake of Hurricane Florence. Let's watch this clip. They're going to talk about something very sad, but their reaction merits some commentary.
Well, right after a mother and her baby were killed in the hurricane when a tree fell on their home, firefighters immediately turned to prayer. We have the photo here. This was their first instinct after they came to the scene and this horrific thing happened.
Senseless. Yeah, it feels like it.
It's a horrible thing. So, I guess I would just reemphasize the question, how do people keep their faith when it just feels like the whole world is crumbling around them?
Those images, that's a perfect example of what I was trying to explain and probably didn't do a very good job of it. Look at those firefighters, tough guys who are absolutely helpless in a situation that they're looking at right now. And they're saying, God, please give us meaning. And I believe there is meaning. I believe there's life after death. I believe there's salvation, redemption offered to us if we accept that. And of course, innocent life like this, a child, we can have great confidence that God, of course, will have mercy and that there is hope, there is life after death.
Well, as we've seen, a lot of nonprofit religious organizations have helped out in the aftermath of these hurricanes.
So you only saw a little part of the segment there. For most of the segment, the banner on the screen said, "Where is God in a hurricane?" Listen, you're supposed to be a news organization. Now, I know they don't act like that, even when they're trying to act like that when it comes to other shows. But this is, it always rubs me the wrong way when it's like they go above and beyond on the nonsense theological bullshit. Now, listen, I get it. I understand. There is something that's powerful about that where, a fucking mom and her baby died because a tree fell in a hurricane. And then, yes, these firefighters come to try to save the day, and they realize there's nothing they could do. So what do? They have humility, and they kneel down, and they're just kind of taken aback by the moment. And these are human beings, and a lot of them, I'm sure, will get PTSD after seeing what they saw. And it's a tough thing to swallow. There's no doubt about that. But, dude, that doesn't make what you're saying true. That doesn't make what you're saying true. And people lose sight of that. They feel like, I'm just going to believe whatever is convenient and comfortable to believe in this situation. Now, you want to do that? By all means, go right ahead. But I think it starts to annoy me when they pretend like it is the truth. And it's just not. So he says, in the midst of talking about this, he says, there is life after death. Stop. Because ultimately, let's face it, what's happening here is you're exploiting a tragedy for the church's gain. That is what this boils down to. It's like whenever there's a natural disaster overseas somewhere, and you have these missionaries go, they have all these supplies to help people in the wake of what happened, but it comes with strings attached. And they go, okay, we're going to help you, but you have to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. What? It's preying on the weak and the vulnerable to try to get them to join your cult. That's fucked up, man. Now, again, I get if people are looking for, in dark times, if they're looking for something to cling to. I don't begrudge you, man. You can believe whatever you want to believe that helps you get through that, and, more power to you if it gives you that extra boost you need to get by. But, again, I just slam on those brakes as soon as people start outright fabricating, lying, and saying things that are not true in the process of the fallout. And that's what I see here. Oh, no, I know your baby just died, but don't worry, there is a purpose. Who says that? Why would you say that right after the baby dies? I mean, that's like arrogance and hubris and callousness masquerading as openness and kindness. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how that strikes me. There's definitely purpose and there's definitely life after death. Stop. And look, maybe that's a downside of being somebody who's a non-believer, is that, as other people have aptly pointed out, we don't necessarily have something to say at the side of a coffin. Like, I don't have the right words to say to comfort somebody at the side of a coffin, because if I'm sticking to what I know is true, then I can't tell you, oh, hey, it'll get better, and they're, fucking bowling with Moses now. I can't say that because it's not true. So I don't have the words that gives that comfort, and maybe this jackass does, but I'm here to say he's wrong, and he's also exploiting a tragedy, because that's true as well. And where is God during a hurricane? Imagine you're a person that just lost your house, just lost the place where you work, catastrophic flooding wiped out your fucking hometown, and then people are saying, oh, where was God? Well, if I'm that person, I'm going, no God would sit by while this happens. No loving and kind God would sit by while this happens. No loving and kind God would let a kid die of cancer. No loving and kind God would have wildfires that wipe out whole swaths of Northern California. No loving God would allow however many people, now it's over a dozen people, die in this natural disaster. So it just strikes me as blatantly transparent how much they fudge reality for their own theological and nefarious purposes. And the main point here is, you want to do that? I guess fine, do that. But let's not pretend that it's the truth, and also let's not pretend like this is news on the Fox News channel.